My dears, welcome back. We start this experience, this new adventure, this new trip from Vienna, center of Europe, where I have my home, my plants, my guitar, my things, and we are ready to embark into a new adventure. An adventure that hopefully is going to change not just our lives, but our minds. Perhaps the way we see things, the way we appreciate things, and maybe, just maybe, the way I see myself. This trip is going to take approximately 20 to 21 hours from Vienna to our final destination, counting on flying time and layovers. The main plan was Vienna to Frankfurt, then a direct flight from Frankfurt to the capital of Colombia, Bogota, where we had to spend around 5 hours before we could embark into another plane that was going to take us to the first section of this trip. First section? Yes, because this trip is going to be divided in three. And literally, geographically talking, is going to be south, center, and north of Colombia. Flying time from Frankfurt to Bogota is around 13 hours, but it was very pleasant, food was nice, they were very generous with drinks, coffee and snacks, so literally with Lufthansa, no complaints. After listening to many songs, reading my book, playing, talking to my friends, trying to sleep, finally, after 14 hours we arrived to the El Dorado International Airport in Bogota. We are tired, but at least this first flying section is done. We are in Colombia. So first of all, I'm really sorry about my face because I have a face of somebody who hasn't slept for the last weeks, even though it's been only a couple of hours, but I feel like dying. I feel like laying down, like many of the people right now, people here in this area of the airport, they are just sleeping. I really want to fall down and sleep. I'm really tired. But here, against all odds, we are in my land, in my roots, where my blood comes from, the beautiful country of Colombia. So yes, as you can imagine at this time, actually Colombian time is about to be 2 a.m. There is nothing, not one single soul alive in this airport. There are just a couple of businesses like this one in case you want to have some empanadas, a piece of bread, a coffee, water, But basically, every shopping area is closed. People are just sleeping. People are just waiting for their flights at 5 a.m. because the first flights, they start something around 5:30 a.m. Yeah, obviously, people cleaning. This is the perfect time for this. But I'm happy to be home. So let's recap. Let's do a little recap. We started in Vienna, we went to Frankfurt, then Frankfurt, Bogota. The direct flight from Frankfurt to Bogota was something around 13 hours. It was very pleasant. I mean, food was good. They were very generous with drinks and coffee and food. It was not that bad. My back hurts because something around 13, 12 hours, just sitting in a plane is not my thing, but we made it. So just to clarify, we booked everything with Austrian Airlines. I'm sorry about the background noise because there are some constructions going around this airport. But we took a plane from Lufthansa. But it was very okay. The first meal, I'm going to show you a couple of videos of the meal. It was very okay. If I'm not wrong, we had to choose between pasta and meatballs. That was pasta and meatballs, so I chose meatballs with some mashed potato, always a dessert, always drinks, always a sweet, very nice. And the second one, which was dinner, was only one choice, and that was something with curry. I'm going to show also the video here. It was something with curry that was very nice. Also, again, with some sweets. It was very okay. I would not complain about it. And the flight was very pleasant. I mean, I literally just slept because I was in pain because of my back. So I just slept. And here we are. This is the airport. One of the biggest airports in South America. This is the International Airport El Dorado from the city Bogota, capital of Colombia. And this airport is pretty big. Actually, I would say it's pretty big. Obviously, I would say it's the most modern and the biggest. Obviously, in Colombia, most people going through international flights, they have to go through this airport. And now here we are. Now, let me tell you about what's gonna happen. Now, I think it's fair time to reveal my plans. The plans. So what's gonna happen? Where am I going to go? Where are we going? In the next 3 hours, we are going to this sound. In the next 3 hours, we are going to take another plane. a plane to a more exotic place here in Colombia. We are going to probably the most southern part in Colombia. We are going to nothing less than the Amazonas. Oh yeah, the Amazonas, the jungle, the forest, the anacondas, crocodile, Amazonas. Oh yeah. So yeah, from here at 5:30 a.m. we're gonna be boarding one plane to Letizia, Amazonas, and this is gonna be really a very adventurous and touristic, but also cultural. Also the roots of the indigenous people and the nature, and it's gonna be just exotic, like the Amazonas. That sounds big. That sounds cool. But probably one of the most amazing things that I have huge expectations about is the place where we are going to stay. So the idea is that we're gonna go to the airport of Leticia in the Amazonas. Then somebody's gonna pick us up from the airport, and we're gonna take a bus and then a boat. We are going to go through the Amazonas River to the location. The location, there are some is I don't know, it's a hotel, but like cabins, like in Spanish it's called cabañas. So they are a place to stay, but they are like houses in the trees, like literally that's houses in the trees in the middle of the jungle, absolutely surrounded by trees and forest and palms and the river and animals and the sounds of birds in the morning. That's something that we really want to do, and that's something that I really want to do because I want to connect with nature. And we are going to Amazonas, probably one of the greenest places in the world that we still can enjoy. So our first big stop here in Colombia is going to be Amazonas. So yeah, that's it. Amazonas, damn. So just before I go to sleep, let me tell you a couple of things, a couple of facts about our journey. This is not the first time that I do this journey. Colombia, Europe, has been now way too many times. So usually a good trip, Colombia to Europe, is something around 13 to 14 hours, but careful, flying hours. Sometimes you have to go from your country, your city, to a different place like Frankfurt, like Zurich, like Madrid, like Paris, and then from that place you have to take an international flight going to Bogota. So if you count the amount of hours, the whole trip, with the connection from your country or your city to the main capital that's going to take you to Bogota, literally it can be 18-19 hours. For example, today, in European time, we woke up at 7:30. At 4:30 we were leaving. We were at the airport at 9:30 and literally inside boarding, the first plane from Vienna to Frankfurt. And so I'm counting from 9:30, and we arrived here in European time. It was about to be 1:32 a.m. So make the counts from 1:30 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. again. So it's a long trip, but it's absolutely worth it. We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna meet my family once again. I'm gonna have the chance to see them, and we're gonna explore. So the first thing that I'm gonna tell you is the South Amazonas. Now, how much do you think a trip from Europe to Colombia is? How much do you think that is? 3, 2, 1. If you want to plan a trip to Colombia, or in general to South America from Europe, I'm going to talk to Colombia. I don't want to go to, I don't want to talk about other countries because I might be wrong. But from Europe, talking about France, Spain, Central Europe, like Germany or Vienna, you have to count on 1,000 or 1,000.2 euros. That's more or less the ticket, the plane to go and come back. I have flown with different airlines like France Airlines. I have flown with Avianca, which is a Colombian airline. But literally, probably most of the times I've done it with Lufthansa, and I have no complaint. Yeah, people have different experiences, but in my experience, and it's been almost 12 years going to Colombia, coming back, Colombia, England, Colombia, Germany, Colombia, Poland, Colombia, Vienna, and Lufthansa really is a really good airline. You might pay cheaper in other airlines, but maybe some of the services or their generosity in drinks or food is not as wide, as open as Lufthansa. In terms of time, Europe is like 7 hours ahead of Colombia. So when we just arrived, and basically we traveled back in time because we arrived and then we minus 6 hours. So yeah, that's how it is. Additionally, right now, if you are coming with euros to Colombia, I assume in general to South America, the exchange currency is gonna help you a lot. Look, this is the exchange currency. It's almost €1 equals 5,000 pesos, which is amazing because that means that you're gonna secure a very nice trip, nice food. You're gonna be happy eating, almost anywhere, drinking these amazing juices, and I'm so happy about that. I can't wait to show my friends our fresh fruits, the food, our gastronomy, and there are so many places that we're gonna go. So this trip is just starting, my dears. This trip is just starting, and you are with me. And right now, I feel like my tongue is heavy. I feel like I'm like drunk. Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna go to sleep. Right now is about 3 a.m. Well, 2:45. I'm gonna go to catch some sleep. I have to charge my phone, and tomorrow morning, boom, Amazonas, and then I cannot imagine myself in the boat crossing the Amazonas River. Literally, that's something that I never thought about. That was only in my dreams, and that's happening. So let's take some rest, and I will see you in a couple of hours to go to the beautiful and amazing place, the junglest place in the world, the Amazonas. Oh yeah. Ready? Oh yeah. My dears, this is it. We are already in the plane. Next stop, Leticia, Amazonas. Let's go. Once you arrive to the Amazonas, Letizia, Amazonas, everything looks different. The colorful environment blends with the simplicity and the way people live their lives here. No cars by boats and no buildings but small houses and huts. And from Leticia, Amazonas, which is the most southern city in Colombia, we ride the Amazon River. Yes, the very well-known wild Amazon River, 1.5 hours until we arrive to our destination, the place where we're going to spend the next few days. No television, no Wi-Fi, no Spotify, no YouTube, just us, humans, and the wilderness of the nature. Once we arrive, our guide welcomes us, and nicely and politely and well educated, he tells us everything about the place. He tells us where to go, where to eat, what to do, what not to do, because also it's dangerous. We are in the Amazonas and we should not forget where we are. The place is magical, beautiful, yet mysterious. We cannot wait to see what surprises the Amazon has for us. Hello everyone. Let me say hi from the jungle, from the wilderness. Yes, we are right in the Amazonas. I can't believe this. So this place counts on different types of accommodations. There are different cabins. There are like houses in the trees. There are more like little lofts. I guess that's the name, lofts. But this one is pretty nice. You can see, look, behind me, you have the bed right here. You have a little like sofa in case you want to read a book, just chill. And I don't know if you can hear, probably not because of the microphone, but the sound is just overwhelming. It's the sound of nature, the sound of insects, birds. There is one activity that I cannot wait to do, which is going to be on Sunday, very early morning, which is the bird watching times. So we're going to be like something like 5:30 a.m. just out there, listening to the birds, just watching birds. That's going to be amazing. Obviously, everything is with these little curtains because of the mosquitoes, but you can see how fresh it is and how bright it is. There is basically, also we're in summer here in Colombia, so we have sunlight long times during the day. In this place, we are offered different activities for every day. So basically, we're gonna have 4 days, and every day we have 2 main activities. We're gonna have the pink dolphin watching. We're gonna go watch dolphins. We're going to fish piranhas. Yes, fish piranhas. I don't know how that works or what that looks like, but yeah, we're gonna be fishing piranhas, or maybe piranhas fishing us. We are going to be visiting one of the local communities which are called ticunas. Ticunas, that reminds me of high school, the history books or social science books talking about the chipchas and all these Arahuacos that are in the north, like people from the Sierra Nevada, from the north of Colombia. There are different tribes. And here we have those also original American indigenous tribes, and one of those are called Ticunas, and we're gonna have the amazing chance to visit them tomorrow and see how they live, what they do, and yeah, just learn, basically enrich our culture about these indigenous communities. Also, we have different walks. We're gonna have walks in the morning, afternoons. There are many different places. We're in the freaking Amazonas, so everywhere is walkable. Everywhere is a path. It's a trail. It's a natural destination, let's say. And we're gonna have a walk at night. That's the walk. Today we're gonna have dolphin watching, and we're gonna have a night walk. And besides, I guess I already showed you in the video a little bit of the layout of the place, and this just looks amazing. And we have the Amazonas River just in front of us, and in the afternoon we can just watch the sunset. We can have a drink, watch the sunset. There is like a balcony. It looks like a ship, and you can just sit there, have a drink, and just watch the sunset. And there is something that I want to mention before I continue with this video is there are few moments in life where you feel small, like that is small. It's like, yesterday I was in Vienna, Central Europe, and today I'm in Amazonas. And here is like all the problems that you have in life, they don't exist here, or they just don't matter, because you are just you are a small grain in the wilderness of the jungle. So for a second you feel overwhelmed because you feel you are living in the immensity and the nothingness. But also you feel free because here all the things that stress you in the normal, regular lives, the 9 to 5 type of life, here doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Well, there are other dangers as well, like mosquitoes, the yellow fever, tarantulas, spiders, snakes, and anacondas, and crocodiles, and well, many other things. Basically, anything can... Yeah, the basic rule for survival is if you see an insect that you don't know, if you see a snake that you don't know, don't touch it. Just don't. So well, at the moment we just arrived. It's been a long trip from Vienna to Frankfurt, Bogota. We stayed there basically the whole night. Then we woke up again to start this trip. Then we came to Leticia, 2.5 hours from Bogota, and then 1.5 hours by boat. I guess you saw some of the shots that I could capture with my phone, and that's just amazing. You know that the Amazon is the longest, biggest, wildest, everything. But once you are there, no, you don't know. You don't know. But right now it's sweaty, it's kind of humid, it's very little bit warm. It's time for a shower. First of all, I'm gonna change my shirt because it's super dirty in many. Look at this. Yeah, because of the plane, the food. Anyway, I need to change my clothes ASAP, and basically 40 minutes we have lunch, and it's gonna be the first lunch in this place. And something that I love, I'm gonna show you guys, is everything is natural. For example, the juices. They were saying like, hey, do you have any allergy to any fruit or something? Because everything we do here, nothing is processed. We take the fruit, we squeeze it, and we make a juice out of it. So that's making me feel like this is going to be a body retreat, detox, let's say. I'm gonna take a shower, my dears, and I will see you in a bit. Bye. So my dears, I'm just amazed about this place. Like full jungle, full amazing experience. But let me show you exactly where we are staying. So this is, as I told you, there are different ways to stay here. And this is ours. So it's a house, look at that. Look at that, it's a house, let me show you around. It has 2 floors. So perfect for, yeah, let's say 4 to 5 people, or if you have kids. It's so loud, everything around. Look. I don't even know what that's making that sound. But look, you can see the house here. This is the house where we're staying. And I love it that it's like, this is the most jungle-ish thing I've ever done in my life. Like, and I've been in many forests because I like hiking and stuff like that. But this is just a different level. This is just another thing. And the peace that you breathe around here. So look. We're staying here. Look, this is it. This is our house. Beautiful place. Basically, it's 12 o'clock. We're gonna have lunch in a couple of minutes, and I'm been just walking around because it's just gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. It was very hard to make up our minds about what activities we wanted to start with today, and we just picked two. We're gonna go try to see dolphins, which is one amazing thing, and at night we're gonna have the night walk. So those are gonna be the two activities for the day, and also I would like to have some time in between, so actually I can enjoy just sitting and watching the sunset over the river Amazon. And for sure, I would like to have some time in between the activities because I just want to chill as well. I want to feel the nature. That's what I came here in the first place. And I really want to watch the sunset over the Amazon River. Probably that's one of those things that are just priceless in life. And I'm going to have the chance to do it, and I'm going to do it. By the way, food here is amazing. Even though I'm a Colombian and this is supposed to be local food, it's also different for me. These are different things that we don't try in the center of north of the country. The whole Amazonas is a whole world in itself. Monkeys and birds, mosquitoes, flies, tarantulas and snakes blend together to create this movie-like scenario. Trust me, you would never guess how big the Amazon really is. Yes, you have seen videos about it, probably you know where it is in the map, probably you have heard about it in your geography lesson. But there are some extensions in the Amazon where it is actually hard to say if it is actually a river or a sea. In this first activity, we're about to see dolphins. There you go, the pink dolphin. In this Amazon River, at least in this area, there are both gray dolphins and pink dolphins. Fortunately, the captain knows where to go, and he just asks us to be quiet and patient. Soon and slowly, they start showing up. And actually, I got the chance to record a couple of them, even jumping. Wait a second, look at that, jumping. Man, this is priceless. In the evening, we had a night walk. The idea of this walk is to see tarantulas, snakes, frogs, and any other poisonous animal that you might imagine. Yeah, just like the movies, all kind of scary insects and tons of snakes, tarantulas, snakes, mosquitoes. Yes, scary, very scary. And of course, beautiful frogs. Look at this beauty. But hey, don't get confused. It might be deadly poisonous. Walking in the Amazon forest just hits different because you don't know what you're gonna find and the vision is very limited. Yes, eerie but beautiful experience. I would suggest you not to miss it. What is up, everyone, and good morning. So we are starting our second day here in the amazing jungle, the Amazonas. And today we have two main activities. Probably those are the two last activities that I'm going to show in this vlog, in this first part of the Amazonas. We're going to go to visit one of the local indigenous communities that I remember that I heard about them when, history books back then in high school, and they are the Ticuna community. And as a second activity of the day, probably in the, probably after lunch, we are going to go nothing less than fishing piranhas. Yeah, fish piranhas. Yeah, we fish like fishing piranhas. Can you imagine that? Where? Down there in the Amazonas. Oh yeah. So my dears, my back, the immensity of the Amazonas River, and I welcome you to the second day of this expedition, Dora the Explorer. We'll see what surprises we find today. But first of all, breakfast. That's the first thing. Let's go. First things first, please don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment. I'm happy showing you all this, so please bring some support to this video. And we have to go for breakfast. Food here has been amazing, and probably today is not going to be the exception. So, my dears, let's go to fill up our bellies. Probably visiting the local community is one of the most enriching activities you can do in the Amazonas. Not only you get a closer encounter with the surroundings, you get to see raw nature, cacao everywhere, pineapple, banana, green banana, papaya, orange and mango trees also everywhere. And all this just before you get to meet one of our most ancient and important indigenous communities in Colombia and in the Amazonas, the Ticuna community. They are very organized and for their own purposes, they register every tourist that comes to the community. The lady who is guiding us towards the Ticuna community not only tell us stories, but also give us values of how they found a balance between nature and humans, where humans respect nature and nature provides everything they need: food, materials, air, water, life. We make one quick stop in one house where they say handcrafts, beautiful handcrafts. I actually got one wristband myself. I love these type of things. Look at that, just gorgeous. We walk a little bit more around the Ticuna community until we get to the museum. In this museum, probably we had one of the most enriching experiences in terms of knowledge. We are told everything about the history of the Amazonas and the tribes and communities that share this region, but also the cosmology and why they believe in. Now, funny thing, and in case you wonder, Letizia and this part of the Amazonas belongs geographically to Colombia. However, they still very independent in the way they live their lives politically and economically. Many of their traditions are still alive, and even though in the rest of Colombia are not allowed, here they are totally allowed and normal. The Ticuna community, absolutely interesting. Guys, so little stop here. We just finished the first walking tour around the Ticuna community. Absolutely interesting. And yeah, there are many stories that maybe in a different time I'm going to tell you because I will have to do a different vlog for that. But it's just interesting how those communities, which are the Native Americans, the fully Native Americans, indigenous communities from this Amazonical area, one of the things that is for me was emotional. She was telling us how everything that they collect from the nature, call it fruits, food, medicinal plants, because there are many animals, everything has to go through a ritual of respect to nature, respect to the gods of nature. They believe in this a fully spiritual immersed community that they have to ask for permission to the mother nature, to the Pachamama, as they call it in the indigenous language, and they to take a fruit, to hunt, to fish, to anything that comes out of the earth. They have to go through a ritual. They have to go through a ritual of asking permission to the nature, asking permission to take something, and then they have to give back. That's why this is just the perfect balance. It's a balance of I take, but I give. Wow. And the second thing that is amazing about this little tour is that one of our friends, she was asking like, hey, is this community poor? Poor, like no money. Like, do you need money here? Because everyone looks, there is a level of poverty when you compare to the cities we come from or something, but what poverty? Do you really need money here? Basically, that's the very interesting part of the story. So the lady said, money here is just paper. It's just paper. Unfortunately, we just need money when we go out to Letizia, for example, which is the closest big city, which is the capital of the Colombian part of the Amazonas. And you need medicine. Now, because of tourism, they have used money to send kids to school in the proper cities. But different from that, maybe sometimes to trade, but they trade a lot. Right in front of their side of the river is Peru, then you have Brazil, and fishermen, they go and exchange fishes, they go and exchange fruits. Here, everything is surrounded by food, like the fresh fruits all year round. They have different plants, they have different things that they use to eat. Amazing food, fresh food, full of protein and vitamins, also animals and fish being the main protein. And they say so money here is when we want to go to areas external to the community, either to study or to buy medicine and other things, right? But this conception of, these people are, at least in this area, poor. So to answer that question, we have to redefine what poor means. What is poor? Because this, my dears, this is paradise. So before we go further, let me tell you a little bit about the place. So this area where we are staying is called Calanoa. This is a region here in the Amazonas, very just in front of the river, and we found it online. that's it. In case you want to check it out, it's Kanaloa. I'm gonna maybe leave a link or something. And it's just in front of the river. It's super nice. There are different cabins, like places where you can stay, apartments, little apartments like on the trees, or little houses like the one that I just passed by. And it's just amazing. So basically, is you have to book the tour. By the way, look at this. Like, look at this. This looks. It has the shape of a boat. You can go there and imagine you are in Titanic. So there are different type of like stay-ins that you can book with them. And for example, as we are staying 5 days, 4 nights, every day per day you have 2 activities. There are 6 in total. So if you have more days, either you repeat activities or you do extra. You have to pay extra money. But the main activities that are free that come with the Kanaloa tours are the ones that we have done, like the night walk, go see dolphins, in the Amazonas, go into the Ticuna communities. There are like 3 different hikes because there is one that is very far, there is one that is going to Peru in the other side of the Amazonas. There is one that we're going to do today, which is piranha fishing, that I'm very excited about. In case you want to know about money, basically per person for this, probably there are different type of tours that you can book, but 5 days, 4 nights was around 4 million pesos. I'm gonna leave it here, the conversion. So it was around 4 million pesos, and there are extras. Like there are extras. You have breakfast, you have lunch, and you have dinner. But then you have extras like there are cocktails, and there is wine, beer, but that's extra. And I have to say as well, even though the place has been amazing, the extra prices for things are super overpriced. But I also have the reason why. Probably to bring a beer from Colombia, Brazil, here is not easy. This is almost 2 hours from the main port in Leticia, in the city, the main city in the Colombian side. So this is kind of far away. So to bring anything, to create a prosecco, a wine, probably gasoline, effort, etc. That's why things are a little bit more expensive. But these days, sometimes we are also very humble and we're trying to give back. Obviously, we are not millionaire. I'm not rich, but for example, I went to this community and you saw that I bought a wristband. So it's a way to contribute. Yes, you try to tip people. People here live out of tourism. They go with us, giving us tours. They talk and they tell us amazing stories. They have a very nice energy, super friendly. So at the end of every tour, in Colombian pesos, you give 30,000 pesos. Like a little tip is something in euros. I don't know, 5, 6, 7 euros. So that's the way you kind of maintain the relationship here, because you know that these people they live from this, they live from tourism. But is it worth it? Oh yes, it's absolutely worth it. This is just once in a life experience. Let me mention a little bit about yesterday, because I didn't really have time and I came super tired. We went to see dolphins, so we took a boat. That's one of the tours, and we go to a place where waters are a little bit more calm. And basically, there are many lakes around this area, so all the lakes come into the Amazonas, meaning many fish, in this case dolphins, also come into the Amazonas. There are 2 types of dolphins who come into the Amazonas. One is the gray one is the pink one. The endemic, the one that is from this region, is the pink one. Is really big. It's bigger than you might think. Nothing to do with the gray one. Actually, the gray ones, you might see them jumping and going. The pink ones are super heavy. You sometimes you see just the fin kind of coming and then going inside again. I'm going to show you some of the shots that I tried to make, because it was really hard. By the way, but the ride, absolutely amazing, gorgeous. It's like literally, I feel that I'm in National Geographic, expedition. Amazing place. And then there is a moment that we stop the boat and we are in silence, and then they start coming, and then you see fins coming in, coming out. I even caught one baby dolphin jumping. I'm gonna show you the video, like jumping. I was like, wow, I got it on camera at the beginning, but it was around 20 minutes just waiting. And actually at some point I was like, do we really have dolphins here? And then the guy was like, please wait, be patient. And then you start seeing them, and sometimes 2 of them, 3 of them coming out. And it's funny because I have one of my friends with a camera, and she was trying to actually take a picture of them. And you can. It's something that is so quick that you just can't. You just, in this case, just look with your bare eyes and experience with your senses. But I was fortunate enough that I could get a couple of shots I'm going to show you. And wow, Beautiful, amazing. After another delicious lunch, we are ready to embark into this new adventure. This adventure is literally taken out of a scary movie, fishing piranhas. Would you actually do it? Fishing piranhas? We hope that piranhas don't fish us. We go deep into the river and found a place that is supposedly be infested with piranhas. We are given a stick, some string, and a carnage, and we are explained how to fish. Luckily, my friends got a couple of piranhas, but me, I just got three. Three sardines. Yeah, sardines. But yeah, not everyone has the amazing experience to catch a sardine in the Amazon River, so I'm happy with them. And well, my dears, a couple of more days to come and more adventures to experience. Please stay tuned because the second part of the Amazonas experience is yet to come. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment. That's gonna help me a lot, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.